high definition. This is NBC Montana News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Montana McLaughlin.
And I'm Hawk Hammer. Taylor Winkle has the night off.
Our top story tonight, it's day 7 of the Bitterroot Valley's observation fire, and it's still growing. The fire has now burned nearly 1,300 acres just outside of Darby. Over 200 homes remain under a Stage 1 evacuation advisory.
Our Tyler Bergen was out there today and brings us a look at what life is like for the fire crews when they're not on the front lines. Tyler.
Hawk, that wildfire that began earlier this week is still burning profusely. Now, we've seen what elements the crews have to deal with while fighting the fires, but today I got a closer look at how they're living in the Darby area.
Smoke continues to rise from the observation fire between Hamilton and Darby, even though it's still very early in the fire season.
I was pretty surprised to be coming down to Hamilton and Darby and down here in the southern Bitterroot. I got here on June 30th, so to be out here before July even, I mean, normally we're out here in August, but to be out here in June is, yeah, it was a bit of a surprise.
Fire crews like Terman's Type 1 Incident Management Team are doing their best to keep the fire contained.
Right now we've got about 400, and we've ordered some more crews. I don't know, another 100, so we'll probably end up about 500 people.
Coming back from a long day's work, the firefighters return to what's known as their little village.
After working the fire line all day with their crews, each firefighter gets their own pup tent so they can get rested up for the next day.
Another important piece of the operation goes on behind the scenes. The Trapper Creek Job Corps Center has brought in 2 20-person crews to keep things moving swiftly.
We start by setting up and helping out with the food trucks. We go through, empty all the trashes. We go around, make sure everything's kind of tidied up, taken care of from the firefighters.
But some members of the team are responsible for more than working around the camp.
We have students actually that get red carded and they go up and fight fires. So we have a crew up there right now on the front lines fighting fires.
So how much longer will these workers be confined to tents and shower houses?
You know, we don't put out these fires. That fella up there does, but he just gives us a chance when he says we can go in there, we can go in there, and we've got the resources. And like I say, we're just starting to get what we need, and I think we'll catch it, but you never know.
The cloud coverage and drop in temperature will prove beneficial in containing the fire. We'll just have to wait and see exactly how much it helps.
And right now, fire officials say that the fire is 10% contained. For more information on this and other fires around Montana, you can log on to NBCMontana.com. Reporting live, Tyler Bergen, NBC Montana.
Thanks, Tyler. Now, the observation fire is one more example in a long history of Montana forest fires where nature proved just how powerful it can be. The cliffs where the firefighters are working are best described as goat country and not especially human friendly. The observation fire started last Friday on seemingly an ordinary day, but when lightning struck, the Bitterroot found itself in unordinary circumstances, even for a valley that's used to extreme wildland fires. The Forest Service was heavily staffed that day and sent what it says was more than adequate initial attack resources. The fire began as a 1/10 of an acre in size.
By the time they got there, we were looking at 40-mile-an-hour plus winds. Picked up the fire, the 1/10 of an acre, and it just pushed it. The winds were so strong, we weren't able to effectively engage it with aviation assets as we normally would in a situation like that. So basically, the fire just got extremely big, extremely fast.
Davenport says firefighter safety is important in the Bitterroot. We also have updates on fires burning near Ennis, Montana.
So far, 33 acres have burned. Right now, we are told it is 0% contained. Speaking of weather, let's turn to severe weather alert teams. Matt Gray. Matt, where are we with the fire danger right now?
Well, fire danger is anywhere from moderate to high across much of the area. In particular, of course, we're concerned about the observation fire at the Bitterroot National Forest right now. In the Bitterroot, as it has been for the last several days, we sit at a high fire danger level there in the Bitterroot National Forest, and not really expecting that to come down anytime soon. There's not a lot of rain in the forecast. Here's your fire forecast for Sunday. For the observation fire, temperatures in the afternoon 70s and 80s, 15 to 30% humidity, which is not spectacular. As you get down into the valleys, it'll be in the teens in the afternoon. Winds 10 to 25 miles an hour. That could definitely be an issue, but at least the temperature trend is getting cooler, and storm activity in the Bitterroot should be low for tomorrow. I did mention that temperature temperature trend is going down, and by the middle of the week, we will be looking at much better conditions than what we're seeing right now. From the perspective of fire weather, we'll talk more about your forecast and have a look at your July 4th coming up in a moment.
And with all that dry weather, it's important to note that open burn season is currently closed in Missoula and Flathead County. Gallatin County, your open burn season with a permit is still open and runs until November 30th.
And during this holiday weekend, Bozeman, you'll see a larger police presence around town. Law enforcement is increasing patrols looking for MIP, DUI, and underage drinkers. FWP is also bringing in extra help to monitor rivers.
Missoula beat the heat this morning for the Clark Fork Market. The holiday weekend drew in hundreds of people to downtown Missoula. The 4th of July is the market's biggest weekend of the year. Hundreds of residents and tourists from all over enjoyed local produce and craft food. Vendors say this is the time of year when they sell the most products.
Oh yeah, there's so many more tourists here than normal. It's always busy, but there's definitely been a bigger crowd today. This is usually a big weekend for the farmers markets.
This is busier than many 4th of Julys have been. It seems as though there are more people here throughout this past year. It's been a better than average year.
The Clark Fork Market will continue every Saturday through October 29th.
Today marked the annual Heritage Day at the Ravalli County Airport in Hamilton. Things got started with a pancake breakfast this morning that fed over 350 people. Here's a look at some of the aircraft that was on display today. This Beech Stagger wing was built in the 1940s in Wichita, Kansas. The event today also featured a flower bombing competition. Those in attendance were able to witness several planes fly in and take off again. These planes come from all over.
We had multiple aircraft fly in from around. Probably the farthest, we had a North American T-6 Texan that flew in out of Portland, Oregon. He was probably the farthest that came in, but we had multiple just general aviation aircraft, people that came in to take advantage of just the fellowship and the camaraderie and a good pancake breakfast and just enjoy being around the airplanes.
The Wings and Wheels Freedom to Dream event will look to make its annual return to Hamilton next year. An Army veteran from Minnesota has fought for freedom, but this week he saved freedom.
Reporter Boyd Huppert has this incredible rescue story of an American bald eagle out of Rush City.
On Rush Lake, there's no mistaking the dock belonging to Jason Galvin.
A crisp flag in the breeze just rings freedom.
But this 4th of July weekend,
very patriotic.
Jason has taken his patriotism to new heights. That's the eagle's nest at which Jason glanced yesterday as he was making a run for bait. But then this caught his eye, a young bald eagle hanging upside down from a rope.
Right then I thought, man, that just doesn't look good.
Turns out others had been watching the eagle with concern too for more than 2 days.
That's when we decided that we really need to make some calls.
Jason's wife called everyone she could think of, from the fire department to the DNR.
It was kind of one of those things where, what do we do? What can we do?
The eagle was just too high.
It's right up the road here.
He had jokingly said, well, we could try and shoot it down. I said, yep, that's what you're going to do.
This is a Ruger 1022.
This might be a good time to show you this. That's Jason on one of his 2 tours in Afghanistan.
He had told me that he was a veteran in the service and that he wouldn't do it if he couldn't do it safely.
Phil Mose gave the go.
Just held it like this.
And Jason started firing.
I saw him in the scope. He was looking at me.
I sat there with the binos. I was like, wow, he's an excellent shot.
150 times he fired.
It was slow, precise shots.
Jason cleared 3 branches.
This is a pretty big branch.
Them gray stripes are from the bullets going through.
Then down into the soft underbrush came the eagle as Jason shot through the rope.
There was a lot of tears. It was breathtaking. It was a beautiful moment.
Jason kind of came to the rescue on it.
Officer Mose started the trip to the Raptor Center.
It rode in the front seat with me, and the whole time his head was up and he was alert.
4th of July, that's our bird. I can't let it sit there.
Mission accomplished.
He fought for our freedom again yesterday.
Jason and Jackie started calling the eagle Freedom and hope he will eventually be released back to their lake. Veterinarians are monitoring his health and say he is eating and drinking.
Coming up, a long day for Hillary Clinton as she spends hours being questioned by the FBI.
And here's a live look over Missoula. Your severe weather alert team 4th of July forecast is coming up.
Yeah, I like this right here.
The Ford Freedom Sales Event is on, and 0 for 72 is back on 2016 Ford Focus, Fusion, and Escape. Plus, specially tagged vehicles get an extra 1,000 smart bonus. That means freedom from interest and freedom to choose with Ford, America's best-selling brand. Right now, get 0 for 72 months on Focus, Fusion, and Escape. Plus, specially tagged vehicles get 1,000 smart bonus cash. Visit your local Ford store today.
You can't choose who sits next to you. But at least you can choose 2 of your favorites from McDonald's McPick 2 menu.
Let me get a McPick 2. Make a delicious decision with the McPick 2 menu. Grab any 2 for $3, like a sausage burrito, sausage McMuffin, McDouble, or 6-piece McNuggets. It's a great deal day and night.
Medals are won in training.
It's chess, not checkers. You gotta sacrifice things. Put in work.
Eat, sleep, and run. It is a full-time job.
As an Olympian, best of the best.
In Rio, under those lights, they just don't hand out gold medals.
You're gonna have to be on your A game, no doubt.
Because that's what it takes.
If you're not reaching to be the best, then why are you in the game at all?
First Interstate Bank supports NBC Montana's coverage of the Rio 2016 Olympics. For up-to-the-minute breaking news coverage and in-depth factual reporting you can count on, watch Steve Fetchlight, weeknights on NBC Montana. Dateline Fridays. Don't watch alone.
The FBI interviewed Hillary Clinton for 3.5 hours this morning about her use of a private email server when she was Secretary of State.
That's right, that interview took place at FBI headquarters in Washington. Now, Clinton's campaign released a statement saying the interview was voluntary. Now, out of respect for the investigative process, they say Clinton will not comment further on her interview. The Justice Department is investigating whether government secrets were compromised by the private email system she used as Secretary of State. This new development comes at a time when Clinton is just 4 weeks away from being formally nominated as the Democratic Party's presidential candidate.
Donald Trump caused a stir today after posting a picture of Hillary Clinton on Twitter. The picture showed Clinton on a background of dollar bills. "Most corrupt candidate ever" was written in what appeared to be a Star of David. The tweet drew accusations of anti-Semitism. It was deleted and replaced with a version that used a circle instead of a star. Now, as we count down to the general election in November, Montana voters will help decide who becomes president. They'll also decide who keeps or takes control as Montana's governor. For those of you who missed it, NBC Montana is proud to rebroadcast the first gubernatorial debate between Greg Gianforte and Steve Bullock. You can watch it on air and online this Sunday at 4 p.m.
Day 2 of Olympic track and field trials kicked off this morning at Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon. On the track, day 1 of men's decathlon, finals for women's discus and women's 10,000-meter run, qualifying rounds for men's javelin throw, and the first round of men's 100-meter dash were just a few of the events taking place.
We are just 34 days until Rio 2016. Day 2 of the U.S. men's decathlon will conclude tomorrow. It's a single 2-day competition, but actually consists of 10 different events. Those include running events, hurdles, jumps, pole vault, javelin, discus, and shot put. Many of these events were part of the ancient Olympic Games in Greece.
And now Matt Gray with your forecast.
And for many of you viewers who don't know, Hawk, you were a decathlete in college.
That's right. You know, I was, and I'll tell you, these guys are in outstanding shape. When I went into event, though, I was hoping that it wasn't going to be too hot, and I'm hoping, of course, that it wasn't too cold. With that, though, Matt, what can Montanans expect as they go into their July 4th weekend?
As we're going into July 4th, I think we're actually going to end up with some pretty nice summer weather. Not too hot and not too cold either. Let's take a look outside. We did see some rain today. Unfortunately, probably didn't make too terribly much of a difference, but you could see those showers that moved across the region today, even a few drops of rain around Missoula and Kalispell. There's what it looks like right now as the showers continue to push their way to the east around our area. Still a few showers. We had some thunderstorms along Highway 89 here and along Park County. Continuing to see a few light showers there as well as areas right around West Yellowstone. We push to the north and, well, we won't do that. I'm a little bit behind. But anyway, let's talk about tonight. Things continue to clear out. It's going to be a bit of a mild night. We're down into the 50s, 55 around Bozeman, 40s for Butte, Deer Lodge, and Sealy Lake, 50s around Missoula and Kalispell. As we head into tomorrow, we got up into the middle 80s, a few spots in the upper 80s today. A little bit cooler tomorrow. We're at 84 in Bozeman and Missoula, 81 for Kalispell. 80 in Butte. As you notice here with our little icons, Kalispell and Missoula, you guys are pretty much good to go for your Sunday. However, a little cloudier, chance for showers and storms around southwest Montana. Breezy conditions here as well, and that is going to be an issue that we're going to be monitoring in the afternoon, not only because of fire issues, but also for everybody out on Flathead Lake. Just like today, we're talking about a light chop by the afternoon and around 1 foot waves by the evening, so to keep in mind if you're out and about on the water. I know a lot of people going up to Flathead Lake here for the long weekend. We fast forward on Future Tracker. Wanted to show you these showers and storms. We're going to start off in pretty much the same places we were today, right around Yellowstone Park, West Yellowstone, and around Park County and into the Madison and Gallatin ranges. But a few showers will develop between Butte and Dillon and then over to the Bozeman area. I think Bozeman has a chance to see the most impact from this. Anywhere between, say, about 2 o'clock and about 5 o'clock, we'll see a chance for an isolated thunderstorm with all the fixings there, lightning, gusty winds, the possibility for maybe some useful rain and a little bit of hail possible there as well. By the time we get to the early part of your evening, however, middle part of the evening, for the most part, those are going to be gone. An isolated storm continuing around the Yellowstone area. And then conditions clear up a little bit for your July 4th, but still a chance for isolated thunderstorms in Butte and Bozeman for your July 4th. Missoula and Kalispell should be good to go. Notice temperatures here quite a bit cooler as we get into the 70s for Butte and for Kalispell for your Independence Day. And unfortunately here, except for the high mountains around Yellowstone, not a lot of rain here expected. You might get 1/10 of an inch or so around some of these thunderstorms over the next couple of days. Otherwise, we are once again staying dry. We really need the rain. It doesn't look like we're going to have a better chance for that around many areas until we get to Wednesday with a system that could produce a few showers, then dry again up until Saturday in Bozeman. Look at these temperatures, though, down into the 70s. That'll be feeling quite a bit nicer after we were in the 90s for a good portion of last week. Same for Missoula here, down to 75 with those showers on Wednesday. Gusty winds going to be an issue off and on here throughout the week as those systems move through. Back up to the 80s by Friday and Saturday. In Kalispell, best chance for showers is going to be on Wednesday. A slight chance as we go into the end of your day on Tuesday, and we're all looking towards Saturday to possibly see some more showers. Highs continuing to remain in the 70s after tomorrow. And in Butte, getting all the way down to 70 degrees for Wednesday. So that should be the day we'll be looking out for some showers. Keep in mind, you may be running into isolated lightning strikes for your outdoor plans for the next couple of days around Butte and Bozeman. So you want to track the radar on our app, on our website. That'll help you out for the next couple of days.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Now let's get to Ethan with sports.
Yeah, the O's dodged a little bit of sketchy weather. So when we come back, we're going to check in with a very big series for the O's. Great highlights coming up after the break.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Fred's Appliance.
Head to Shopko for the big 4th of July sale. Everything to keep your party poppin'. Cheetos and Lay's chips, 2 for $4. Pepsi and Coke products, 4 for $11 12-pack cans. Summer's in full swing with hot styles. 55% off family swimwear. And tons of tees and shorts. Americana tees for the family, $4.99 each. And 50% off shorts. Plus 55% off furniture at the 4th of July sale. Celebrate summer at your American dream. Shopko and Shopko.com.
In the Big Sky Country, you have some big road trips, and nothing's better than being behind the wheel of a Honda with real-time all-wheel drive. Honda HR-V, Pilot, and CR-V keep you safe with Honda Lane Watch and connected with Honda Link. For all the things you're into, an all-wheel drive CR-V can be yours for only $219 a month, making it the perfect ride for Montana. See your Montana Honda dealer today.
I believe that information is power. Local news gives that power to everyone.
We have the resources to tell stories that are enlightening and the experience to make sure they are factual and fair.
It's about digging for the truth and presenting that to our audience in a fair and accurate way.
Facts and data can't be biased or partisan. They're just the facts.
We're making sure the powerful answer the tough questions. And that's what getting the facts right is all about.
When these celebrities vacation, they're given the best in private transportation, the finest accommodations, and a world-class cuisine.
You're excited to eat that? Maggots and burnt bird. What more can a man want?
And on July 11th, this is their next great getaway.
Elephant dunk.
Oh, we're squeezing it in.
Never let it be said that I don't know how to show a girl a good time.
Running Wild with Bear Grylls premieres Monday, July 11th at 10/9 Central on NBC.
Last summer, a group of Western Montana car clubs gave away a 67 Barracuda and raised over $41,000 for Camp Make a Dream. Well, they're at it again. The car clubs have restored a 67 Ford Galaxy convertible and are selling a limited number of $20 raffle tickets to benefit Camp Make a Dream. Get your tickets from car club members at local car shows where the Galaxy will be on display or by calling Camp Make a Dream at 549-5987. Someone's going to win this beautiful 67 Galaxy convertible. It might just as well be you.
Get your forecast from the Severe Weather Alert team on NBC Montana. And now sports with Ethan Fitzgerald.
Good evening and happy Saturday, Montana. The Missoula Osprey had their shot at their first series sweep of the season tonight. Let's check into Game 3 against the Helena Brewers, who are on a 3-game losing streak against the O's. Early inning action for the Osprey. Here's Max Brown lining sharply down the left field line, but Lucas Ickrick makes a great stop and throw, and then throws Brown out at first. Later on, it's Yeraldi Martinez for the Brewers. He's going to end up skying this one to deep left center field for the home run. That's a 2-run homer. Helena takes a 2-0 lead. O's in another pinch a little bit later on. Runners on first and second. Chester Pimentel gets out of the jam with a solid strikeout. O's still trail in the bottom, or going into the bottom of the third inning. Runners on second and third for the O's. Endres takes off towards first base. He beats the throw, and that allows Brown to slide into home. Osprey narrow the gap and take a 3-2 victory. Let's check into some Legion scores now from Rapid City, South Dakota. In the first game of the day, the Mavs played Rocky Mountain, and Missoula kept a lid on the Avalanche, allowing 0 runs thanks in part to Ryan McHugh, who threw 52 strikeouts, leading to a 3-0 victory. And in Game 2 against Millard South, things didn't go over as well for the Mavs, as Missoula had only 2 hits and totaled 4 errors. South wins big, 9-0 the final. Turning our attention to Speedway now for the Coke 0400. Brad Kozlowski leads the race going into the 53rd lap, but flash forward to lap 90. We have some serious problems as Jimmy Johnson bumps into Jamie McMurray, causing a multi-car wreck, taking out Danica Patrick, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Matt Kenseth. 19 total cars were involved in that wreck. But this was a solid race all around. Kozlowski's going to take the checkered flag at the Coke 0400 after a crucial spin out by Kurt Busch. In Olympic news, world-class sprinter Usain Bolt has withdrawn from the Jamaican Olympic trials after injuring his hamstring. Bolt, seen here running in the second scene here running in the championships, is considered the fastest man in the world and is the reigning 2-time Olympic champion in the 100-meter dash. In a tweet, Bolt said he was examined by the chief doctor of the national championships and was diagnosed with a grade 1 tear of the hamstring. And after tweaking his hamstring Thursday night in the preliminary heat, Bolt won his semifinal race at the time of 10.4 seconds. But the pain returned after the second race. Bolt has now submitted a medical exemption to be excused from the 100-meter final of the remainder of the Jamaican championships. And because the Jamaican selection policy allows for medical exemptions, Bolt can compete in Rio. And that's going to do it for your sports. We'll be right back.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Missoula Federal Credit Union.
Yeah, like this right here.
The Ford Freedom Sales Event is on, and 0 for 72 is back on 2016 Ford Focus, Fusion, and Escape. Plus, specially tagged vehicles get an extra 1,000 smart bonus. That means freedom from interest and freedom to choose with Ford, America's best-selling brand. Right now, get 0 for 72 months on Focus, Fusion, and Escape. Plus, specially tagged vehicles get 1,000 smart bonus cash. Visit your local Ford store today.
When your battery's empty, you wouldn't throw away your cell phone or buy a new one. You'd recharge it. Hi, Jeff with Mountain Ink and Toner. It's the same with your ink and toner cartridge. Why throw it away when you can recharge it and save money when you do? And with our 100% guarantee, you'll always know your refilled cartridge will perform to your satisfaction. So forget about buying new cartridges, have them refilled. Save money and be green with Mountain Ink and Toner. Mountain Ink and Toner, your link to half-price ink and toner located in the Grand Creek Town Center.
Dateline Fridays. Don't watch alone.
This is a name tag. A polycotton blend of pride and accountability. At Big O Tires, it's beyond any single Doug, Cindy, or Mike. It's a badge that tells you that each individual stands behind their work, our quality service, and great prices on tires. Because with offers like this one, we want you to remember our names.
And now get up to $70 in mail-in rebates with a purchase of 4 Cooper brand tires.
Big O Tires, the team you trust.
All summer long, the world's top thoroughbreds compete for a spot in the richest event in American horse racing. The Breeders' Cup Challenge Series continues with the Belmont Oaks Invitational, Saturday, July 9th on NBC.
Welcome back. We'll check back in with Matt Gray one more time on the weather.
Yeah, and talking about tomorrow, should be a pretty nice day for the most part. Do look out for a thunderstorm or two as we head into the middle parts of the afternoon around Butte and Bozeman. Highs a little bit cooler than what we saw today. Still in the 80s, though, but 70s later this week.
Great. Not a bad weekend.
All right, that does it for us. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
Have a good night.